Violent encounters between civilian populations and wild animals in ancient times are well documented throughout history. However, today we will look at what most likely happened between armed soldiers and different wild animals. Before the times of firearms, during military campaigns and expeditions in various parts of the world, as armies marched through unfamiliar wilderness, soldiers would find themselves coming face to face with some of nature's most deadliest wildlife, such as lions, tigers, bears, and snakes, along with elephants, hippos, and other large creatures. Now, most soldiers in ancient times carried either a spear or sword on their person as they traveled. While it is quite obvious that someone with a sharp enough sword and with a well-timed thrust or swing could potentially smoke a charging lion or tiger with a thrust to the face or the shoulder, however, more often than not, the outcomes vary dramatically. Take the Romans for an example. They at times pitted battle-hardened gladiators along with prisoners of war against wild unhinged animals to see who would win. Being lightly armed, gladiators or prisoners of war would be forced to fight to the death with a vast variety of beasts. But unlike the Roman gladiators, the average infantryman plucked from the countryside from some village, conscripted in some army with very little training in offense or defensive tactics, were the ones that made up the majority of most armies. They would be the ones just rolling through the wilderness or out foraging for supplies. These dudes would be the ones occasionally finding themselves coming face to face with dangerous predators. With an estimated 600 to 700 people being deleted each year by big cats, you can imagine how high those numbers must have been during ancient time. Deaths during military operations attributed to wild animals were oftentimes not reported and were seen as just another casualty of war. But how effectively could your average infantryman fare against an open attack from a wild animal like a bear or lion? Logically, most people would assume that a sword or spear would be more than enough to effectively ward off a predator, but in reality, most attacks came when an individual least expected it. There would be little time to use a spear or sword against a 400-pound lion suddenly bum-rushing you while you were trying to pick berries or forage for camping supplies. But in the cases where a soldier found themselves in actual combat with a wild animal, the outcomes would vary drastically. Animals are wild and unpredictable, and while having a sharp sword or spear is still better than having nothing, it still would have been meager protection against the claws and teeth of an unhinged lion or tiger. Keep in mind, larger predators like lions or bear possess thicker muscles and skin, while male lions possess thick furry manes around their necks that help protect their throats from injuries. A charging predator is also most likely psyched out while it's coming at you, so by the time you plunge your weapon into its body, it would have most likely already have eviscerated you with its long, sharp teeth and blade-like claws. It only takes an instant for a predator like a lion to puncture vital organs or break bones. Take this video for example. Hunters armed with rifles fire repeatedly at a charging lion in an attempt to delete it. The lion, trying to defend itself, attacks one of the hunters. While the contact is less than seconds, the damage is already done to the hunter. But keep in mind that animals oftentimes are able to continue fighting even after receiving a fatal blow. So even if you are lucky enough to tag an attacking predator in a vital spot, you better hope that it decides to spend the remaining moments of its life running away instead of curb stomping you into oblivion. While some military units like archers possess powerful bows or crossbows that could potentially drop predators at faraway distances, most average infantry units did not have access to these weapons. Being expensive to make and requiring a ton of training, only skilled soldiers were usually equipped with these projectile-type weapons. So for the average ancient infantryman out in the wild, an edged weapon only leveled the playing field. But knowing how to use that weapon effectively is what separated the meals from the men. However, with some wildlife, even whole armies would be left powerless. Armies marching across the plains of Africa or India or East Asia would find themselves coming face to face with venomous snakes or serpents like the king cobra, viper, krait, or black mamba, and other venomous snakes. Snakes like these, possessing enough venom to delete hundreds of men, were pure nightmare fuel. Even the whisper of these deadly snakes would send panic throughout the ranks of marching armies. Deleting well over 100,000 people per year, soldiers unaware of the danger, foraging for supplies, or taking a rest in rough terrain would oftentimes be bitten, and with there being no anti-venom, individuals bitten would be left to their own fate. Fear of dying from these snakes was so intense that there have been occasions where a soldier who was bit on the hand was instructed to stay still as the other soldier next to him took out his sword and immediately chopped off the hand of the bitten individual in an attempt to stop the venom from reaching his vital organs. However, being bitten by these snakes wasn't the only thing your average infantryman had to worry about. Snakes like the spitting cobra could spit deadly venom at ranges of up to 10 feet. This venom could easily cause permanent blindness to anyone hit in the eyes. Any unlucky soldier stumbling through the wilderness who encountered one of these snakes would find that a sword or spear wasn't much defense against a shower of venom. With the focus of warfare being on defeating the opposing army, oftentimes kings and generals would overlook how dangerous the wildlife in the land that they were trying to conquer could be. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button and leave a comment. Feedback is much appreciated. You guys have a wonderful day. Much love. Peace.